up, guys? Thank you for joining in to another video from K.A.M. We have with us Reuben Gonzales. How are you, Reuben?
I'm doing good.
Nice. Thank you for being here once more.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're just going to dive into the questions one time. So, first question is, outside of designing, do you enjoy painting or drawing? And what type of painting and drawing you prefer more?
Well, before I went into fashion. I was heavily involved in the creative arts community. So watercolor painting was my favorite medium. And going into fashion didn't change that fact because I always designed something on my medium. It used to always be women in this elaborate outfit, but more of floral depictions of flora and fauna. So I haven't been painting of recently, more just the fashion illustrations, which I think is bad. I should start back. But yeah, I still paint, but just more heavily into the fashion, in fashion illustrations and create design. Because I'm like right now trying to find my design self outside of school. So I'm more focusing on that than the creative arts aspect.
Okay. What I noticed as well is that you have, so let me ask you basically, what's your design process like? Like, what's your creative process in terms of coming up with concepts and stuff like that, or your process from start to finish when you're working on the design?
Coming up with a concept is whatever flash in my head, and I like it, I go with it. Like right now, I have this obsession with flamingos. So anything with flamingos, I just take it, save it. I have a folder there for inspiration, as well as I like to do collaging when I'm doing for clothes, because people like to say that everything has been done, nothing is new and original, but you still have to try and push that boundary. So what I will do is photocopy a lot of flamingo pictures and save them in my scrapbook. And when I'm ready to do an illustration, I'll just draw a croquis, or what we call a croquis, which will just be a nude figure or a human figure. And then I'll just cut up those flamingos and just do a collage. Whatever comes to just do it. And from there, I would then look for new shapes and styles and ideas to make new ideas. New designs, I should say.
Your own twist it.
My own twist it, yeah.
Nice, lovely. So in your bio, you mentioned that you have worked with Peter Elias and as well as Robert Young. Sorry about that, Robert Young. How is your experience so far working for these well-known designers?
Well, when I was in school, I worked with Peter Elias in the retail aspect. And I must say I have no regrets making that decision, because going into fashion, I wasn't studying men's fashion because I know how to dress myself, at least to say as a male.
Right.
But for female, I could have all these ideas, but they may not be practical or for at least for the Caribbean market or the Trinidad market, I should say. So I wanted to understand what works, styles, cuts, silhouettes, and at least get that sales tactic, how a well-known person in design, fashion and retail, how he operates. And he was a great mentor. He taught me a lot, I must say. That was I worked for him for 2.5 years at his women's store in Westmore. And I met a lot of people. I saw a lot of different styles, made a lot of friendships there. And like I said, I don't regret it. Now, Robert Young is my current, let's say, mentor. Right. Yeah, I'm doing an apprenticeship with Robert Young at the Cloth. And I'm doing a mix of things more in the design aspect. So from production to prototyping, pattern making, even technical design, where I'm doing things for future reference that, okay, we're going to document this, we need to have like a blueprint. So I'm doing like his blueprints with it. It was a strong point that I had in school, and I'm trying to, bring it to one of the known fashion houses and help them, as well as help me. I'm getting practice and they're getting their growth as well. So we're both growing together.
Both learning from each other, benefit from each other. Okay, great. You touch on something that I think I always wonder about like what's your feedback in terms of the fashion industry? What's your take on the support to the local fashion?
Support to local fashion in what respect? As in,
do you think there's a lack of support for local fashion, or is it that something that's growing and starting to catch on, or where do you think we stand in terms of supporting local fashion?
fashion has always been there, local fashion. Support will always be there, but when we're talking about, let's say for sales, depending on the designer and what niche you're going into, support may be easier.
Right.
Or, I mean, you'll always get support. Everybody at Trinidad loves fashion. They love the bling, they love the glitz, the glamour of fashion. But when it comes to like the economic part of it, selling and marketing your brand, it depends which, like I said, which niche you fall in. So it's all about aesthetic and what you're offering for the client.
So what do you love about the fashion world the most?
Just being creative. Since primary school, I can remember going to my mom. She was also a teacher, and going to her school after, and she would have like old copybooks there, and I would take them and just start drawing female figures, male figures, and just dressing them, drawing things on them. And that's just, the illustration part was a reward in itself. Now that I could actually make these illustrations and bring them to life,
right.
It's a great reward. So I'm a creative person. I would say I'm a creative, and I love to do things with my hand, make stuff, design, and I think that's the best part of it. Just being
able
to make these things,
be creative and express yourself.
Yeah,
that's great. So when it comes to a question I have, outside of the design, what else do you love and do you enjoy doing?
Well, so it doesn't have to be design related, right?
Yeah.
No. So I'm actually in dragon boat racing.
Oh.
So I've been doing dragon boat racing since 2011. That's 7 years now.
Right.
I'm in it, and I hate sports. I hate sports, and the mere fact that I'm in one and I'm in it for 7 years shows that I actually have a drive for it.
Right.
And I mean, it's a team building sport. So you work together with people that love to be social. So that the mere fact that it's a team bonding effort to produce this exhilarating rush or speed to win.
Right.
Is what I think I like about it. And then it's water. Anything water I like.
Okay.
I have an obsession with water themed things. So I guess being social or team, being social and water, that's a great combination.
Seeing that you love the water so much, have you ever was inspired to create a design based on or influenced by water?
For my entire third year at the Caribbean Academy of Fashion Design, 90%, if not 99% of my designs were water-based things, something on animals from the ocean, the sea, or the sea itself. I remember my favorite piece was a corset. We had to make something called a creative corset out of unconventional materials. And I made this whole corset like a coral reef with clownfish. I have an obsession with clownfish and the anemone,
right.
and the movement and the neon colors that they have. And I used iridescent vinyl as well as packing foam to make the anemone tentacles, and a paper mache anemones going in, and I tried to paint them as realistic as possible. I think that was my favorite piece, aquatic piece I could say I did so far in design.
Well, I would love to see that. I would love to see an image of that or see the actual finished product of that. So now that you have completed your schooling, well, your formal part of schooling, and what's your take on the Caribbean? What's your take on the Caribbean when it concerns the fashion industry and the support of the fashion industry locally?
There are a lot of avenues. I've recently coming to understand for Caribbean fashion. I, to know, but unfortunately, to know them, you can't just say, I'll just Google it.
Right.
They're just as bad as Trinidad, I would say, when it comes to certain things. But we're all developing and growing. Travel, it would be the best way to find out there are other boutiques that on other islands that are willing to take Caribbean designs. Tourism is a big thing. I mean, it's not a big thing in Trinidad unless it's carnival time. But where tourism is almost year-round on other islands, they always need new content for their stores, new merchandise, and that's the best way not the best way, but one of the ways to market yourself out there. Yeah.
So do you all see the support for local fashion and
more to support, there are also fashion shows and trade shows amongst the other islands. The most being Caribbean Fashion Week, the most popular one, and that's in Jamaica. There are others like Flow Fashion Week in St. Vincent, Barbados also has their fashion weeks. There are fashion weeks on every island.
Right.
And they're not going to say, no, we're not going to let you because you're not from our island. They are supportive of anybody regionally to come and join and showcase their work.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your greatest achievement thus far, and what's the lessons you have learned in getting to where you are today?
Greatest achievement? Finishing 4 years at UTT, that fashion program. I learned a lot. It wasn't an easy process. No regrets. What did I learn? I learned that if you don't work hard and be persistent in what you want and have some form of concentration, you're not going to reach anywhere. Fashion is not something easy. It's not like Project Runway where, I find that a hard work just watching that show is very intense. But it's not just, okay, I'm going to illustrate something, I'm going to stitch it. It's more to that. And it's a very competitive industry. And school was just the tip of the iceberg. And they told us the best advice they gave us, or words of wisdom, was school is child's play compared to the real world.
Right.
So if you think it's hard here, you're not going to survive out there. And I think that's the best thing to it. That they gave us the best words of advice, I would say. And I took that seriously because it is hard out there. It is hard. Yeah.
Any projects you have in the pipeline, anything that you have coming up, anything that you're working on that you're willing to share with us right now?
Well, I am working on a new project right now. Projects, I must say, for the next 3 months, I want to bring out a new collection or a capsule collection. And this time I want to try menswear. Menswear wasn't something I really focused on in school.
Okay.
And there is a need for Caribbean menswear. I've realized a lot of men approach me, do you do men's? They want men's, why are you only doing female? So I'm like, why not? A lot of guys are coming
into the stuff now these days.
Yes. Yeah, because basically it used to be just jeans,
Yeah.
a jacket,
Sure, anything, yeah.
a vest.
Yeah.
Nothing really exciting.
True.
Now with how fashion is evolving, there are a lot more options for men available out there. Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap things up, and we just want to get word of advice. Word of advice, I would like to end the show with you encouraging some young person out there, or someone who's probably having a difficult time or stuck. I can't see the way forward. Any word of advice for anyone out there who's watching this video to hold on, to keep life and cherish life? Any advice in terms of, anything positive you want to tell the public before we close up?
My best advice is criticism is your best friend.
Right.
never run from it. I love criticism. It's a helpful process to learn what people think of you as a brand or as a creative, and it made keep you. You shouldn't let it bring you down. You should let that just only excel you further.
Right.
And don't care what people say. You don't. It may hurt. It will hurt sometimes, but just keep strong. Because at the end of the day, you are your best critique, right? What other people say are just matter of opinion, not fact. So if you have a gut feeling and other people are telling you, no, go this other direction, if your gut is feeling it, do it. It may not be the best outcome, but everything is a learning process. So take it like that.
Reuben, I thank you for being here again. It was a pleasure interviewing you. We like to keep it short and sweet. I want you guys to follow our pages, like, share, and we will see you for the next video.